Most of the video is going to be spent on this bad boy in here. I'm really excited. We haven't gone through it yet, so everything that you see in the video you're going to see is new to us too. All right, looky there. We got us a new addition to the family here. Kids are calling him Dash. The people that had him before had named him Nash. He's about a year old. They said, feel free to change his name. And I kind of feel halfway bad about changing the dog's name. I don't know why. I left it up to the family to change his name. And they kind of decided on Dash, which is cool because it kind of sounds like his old name. He still responds to it well. And it gives a new little twist to it since he's in a different family now. But he's a good dog. He's still a little skittish. We're trying to get him used to us. All right, we're sitting here in the war room. Reason for today's video, a little different than normal. We haven't done any arrowhead hunting today, but we did go visit my uncle and checked out all the artifacts he had seen over the years. I've got two great uncles on my mom's side of the family. It's my grandmother's brothers, and they had artifact hunted for decades. And I went to one of their houses today, and he showed us his collection, which I'll show you in a slideshow in a minute. But he also gave us a little gift. His friend had given him a little pretzel jar of odds and ends. And in today's video, me and Douglas are going to go through it. You can see there's lots of good stuff in there, and we're going to see what we find. He also gave us this little bag of pottery because he didn't seem too interested in it, and he knew we have all kinds of cord mark pottery in our collection. So we'll pull that out and get a little look at it too. But most of the video is going to be spent on this bad boy in here. I'm really excited. We haven't gone through it yet, so everything that you see in the video you're going to see is new to us too. So, but here's a slideshow. I'm going to show you everything that is in his collection at his home. And hopefully you'll enjoy it. And then once we're done with that, we'll get back to this. First thing he's got in there, we're going to roll that out. You can't tell. Well, yeah, you can right there. You see that kind of circular mark there. He thinks that's a machine cut piece there. So Douglas, just pour that bad boy out. We'll go through things. We're going to separate fossils and the unknown. We'll see if we can find any whole pieces in here and any broke. Oh boy, there's a lot of good looking stuff in here. This is going to be fun. Just go ahead and keep getting her.
I don't want to break it out of it.
Just fill her out. It'll be all right. We won't know it's broke. It's already a jar full of brokes anyway. Oh, gotta be careful. There's some big stuff in here. So some of this stuff I'm not even sure what it is. Right off the bat, I see a nice blade right there. Oh boy. Got scraper pieces. Not sure what that is. Could be a little celt they were making. We'll put that up there.
Serrated base, looks like.
Yep. Kind of like a Madison or a Ford Ancient Dare, possibly. There's all kinds of cool stuff in here. A busted tip. So, and a lot of this stuff's just odds and ends like that there. You can't tell. That could have been a piece to a point. I think it was a little stemmed, but you really can't tell too much. It could have just been a little blunt scraper.
Yep.
Well, I didn't get too many specifics on this. He was just kind of talking and showing us he's got a massive collection. You seen here a minute ago. I don't know what that is. That's a big what if. It looks kind of like cord marked pottery, but the composition of it is way different than the pottery from around here. So if it is pottery, it's from another area. That's pretty intriguing. That, I'm not sure. That just looks like a piece of fired rock. And we've got some fossils there, some type of bone. I saw, yeah, we'll sit down for a second, go back to it. I saw more fossils in here. There's a piece of cord marked pottery there. We'll put that over with the pottery bag. Here's a busted little stem point there. Boy, it's a really, really light rock, kind of porous, but they've worked that into, had a little blade going there. Just all kinds. This is overwhelming how much is in this. A lot more than I realized was. I thought he was going to have a lot of flint shards in here, but these are all actually broken artifacts.
Oh, look at
like
that
95% of it. Yep.
Cool.
There's a nice little busted tip there. It was well done. There's one of the corals. I can't remember. There's two different types of coral we always find. One's called Rugus coral, and the other's called tabulate coral. So there's another piece of fossil we'll put there.
Oh, look at that.
Nice little busted point there. Another little stem, kind of a stemmed, almost pentagonal shaped. I don't know if it's pentagonal.
Crescent.
All kinds of stuff, but we're going to take a little bit of a break here. We're going to go through this and try to separate everything out based off of quality and then go from there. Douglas already has a handful of things there. So we'll get things separated out a little bit better, and then we'll kind of do a reveal here in a minute and share everything we've come across in here. These guys here had to invade our video. We're in the middle of doing our stuff, and this old boy, he always needs attention about every 5 minutes. He's still a little nervous. He's only been in the house for a few days. He's getting used to us. He's a good boy. Here's Sparkle back here. Come here, Sparkle. She's the old girl. She's my baby. She's a good dog. You've seen her before in some other videos from time to time. She's got a little tumor on her leg, and we're going to get her some surgery soon. Hopefully that helps her out, because she's a good old girl. But we're getting through it here. We got stuff sorted out. Got a bunch of stuff we got to sort there, and we got a bunch of stuff laid out for you here, and we'll let you know when we get it all done. But it's pretty exciting going through this. It's all 99% broke stuff, but to us, you know, it's treasure. We really like it, and it's neat to see all this and be able maybe to discuss the history of these pieces down the road. So we'll show it all to you once we get it laid out. Alrighty, we got everything figured out here. We're going to go over it here in a minute. Before we do, I want to give a shout out to a couple guys, some YouTubers that I enjoy watching. If you guys haven't already, check out Chief Smokem. He's a guy that hunts down in Kentucky a few hours from us. And then the other guy, we've gave him a shout out once or twice before, but he always puts out some really good videos, is Clegg's Adventures. He's about 30, 40 miles above us, and he finds lots of good stuff on the Ohio River as well. So give those guys a look, and I hope you enjoy them. All right, we got everything separated somewhat into categories. We got a lot of good stuff here. The only thing to ignore is I use this piece. It's a piece of rock I think has been worked on by a machine. I just used it to set stuff on. This is some kind of tool. I don't know if it's like a celt or what. It kind of resembles a celt, but it's not as blunt. It's been beat on a lot. This thing's a preform under there. You can see the working on it. You flip it around. I'm not going to do it right now. These are just pieces that have working on them. Well, we're not sure what kind of tools they are. These over here, for the most part, have ends on them that resemble scrapers or little spade-shaped tools. Bunch of little pieces of hematite back here. Some bigger hematite, some fire rock, and there's also some stuff in here I'm not sure is anything. There's a big piece of hematite there that might have been a celt. It's definitely like faceted on sides. I'm not sure. I'm not definitely sure if it's a celt or not. It's just speculation. This kind of resembles some pottery. It's not like any kind of cord marked pottery from around here. It's got the lines. You can't see them super well. Yeah, see it right there? It's got the outside lines like cord marked, but it's gray, almost like a cement. It is almost the same composition when you look into it is the cord mark pottery. I don't know if they just used a different type of clay. It is kind of fibrous. Like it's got some hairs or plant fibers in it. So I'm not too sure. But like right here's all the good stuff basically. We'll pull out a couple that I think are the best or at least most complete. I'd have to say over here, here, this one, this one, this one. We'll get like 10 pieces. Well, it's all new to me. I have to remember it all looking back at it. Couple here. We'll show those to you last. But here's everything. These pieces on these pieces of foam are stuff we know are points or tools. There's just so much of it. I don't know what region it came from either. I didn't ask my uncle. I might one day. There's obviously stuff in here. This looks like a Ford Ancient triangle piece there, or a Madison possible. There's lots of little Madison pieces that's busted up. I'm assuming it's somewhere around here. He said it was a friend of his. So I'm assuming it's mid-Ohio Valley or not far from. So probably a lot of the same cultures that we find stuff from. Right up there's one that's almost complete. It's missing a corner. But, I mean, just phenomenal stuff. If there's anything you want to look at, I'll go from here to here and you can pause and take a look at it. Go real slow so you can pause and look at it. And if you have any ideas of what any of this stuff is, if you see anything that sticks out as special, let me know and leave it in the comments. And one day we'll go back over this stuff now that I have it sorted out, and we'll try to pin some of this stuff down. But there you go. There's a good profile of all it. We're going to move some of this stuff, and I'm going to show you these pieces I picked out that I think are some of the better pieces. All right, there, I went around, looked around, picked 10 out that I liked the best. Those are those 10. They're missing maybe tip of the top. This one's missing its top, it looks like. But I think the one I'm intrigued the most about is this one. I have a smaller point that's like it. I think it's an Eastern stemmed. It kind of resembles them. It could just be an unfinished point too. There's also a point called Pipe Creek that only has the stemming or notching on one side. But from what I've seen of Pipe Creek points, they're usually notched and not stemmed. I mean, that's just from what I've kind of studied up on my own. So if I'm wrong, you can correct me on that. But I'm just trying to speculate what some of these are. This is just, I'm assuming just a general little tool or maybe a Madison point they tried to make. It's kind of uneven. It's almost crescent shaped like some of those pieces we found in what I think is an old Ford Ancient site you've seen in previous videos. A little preformer, possibly just a knife or scraper there. I'm not too sure. It's a little thick. It's got what we call the turtle backing on it. My other scrapers that I've showed you before, found in videos last year, have that kind of turtle backing to it. Some of these, what I think are unfinished Ford Ancient points people find around here, they get to a point where you can't work it anymore, and it just has that little spot left on it. I don't know if that's what that is or not. I'm not well versed enough make an assumption, but it's just something I've seen. But this is everything we found today. We're still pretty overwhelmed with it. This is a pretty cool collection, and super thankful to my uncle. I don't know if he ever looked through it or not. I think he just kind of had it there, and he's amassed such an impressive collection. You know, as you've seen earlier in the video, he's just kind enough to say, here, I want you guys to have it, enjoy it. And we will. This is cool. We're going to probably spend the next day and a half or so just going over this and just being in awe of all these different pieces. I mean, this is probably quintupled our collection. We've got that case there, and then the other case has about twice as much as that in terms of point pieces. I mean, this is 5 to 6 times what we already have. So really grateful for it. And just glad to get to bring it to you guys. So I appreciate everybody watching. Have a good one.